Broadcasting from Hollywood, it's the official On Air with Brandon J podcast. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brandon J. Welcome to the Brandon J Show. I've got a special guest. You've seen her on the show before. This is the first time she's on Air with Brandon J, the official podcast. May Kravitz. What's up, May? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Every time I see, you post and, I try to keep up with what, each artist is doing. And I see you're traveling. And I saw you were in Nashville. You posted like a live, I believe, with Trey Bruce. Tell us about your experience in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, I love Nashville, Tennessee. One of my favorite cities. And you know what's so amazing about Nashville? They have like live music everywhere.
Yes.
And sometimes they have multiple bands in one venue, which is amazing. I mean, I've not seen anything like that in any other city. So Nashville rocks. So I work with the amazing Trey Bruce. And by the way, I was there on St. Patrick's Day. Everyone was out, and we hopped on like different venues. So we went from one venue to another just to to enjoy the day. And everyone knew who he was. Like everywhere we went in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, he's here!" Like it was so cool.
That's
like,
crazy. It's like Cheers.
Yeah.
Everybody knows your name. That Nashville is super cool. I remember the first time I was in Nashville, May. I was up there for CRS, and all these program directors and artists are there. And it's just such a warm, inviting community. An artist that I work with directly, Sarah Lightman, she just relocated from Los Angeles to Nashville, and she's doing some incredible things. She just performed at, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville and other venues up there. And it's just really cool to see how they embrace new music, like real talent, like yourself and others. So I'm congratulating you in advance because I know you're working on things you can't really disclose it, but thank you for sharing just a hint of what took place in Nashville for us.
Oh, wait, and I haven't told you the most amazing part, right? So Trey used to be the president of the preservation committee in Nashville.
Yes.
So we went to the original RCA studios, and I walked into the room where, every single legend was signed, and, and it's insane. Like you see the pictures on the walls of like all the super like amazing legendary people. I was like, oh my gosh, I was in such awe of this whole thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have literally been studying, my next topic, and I know that, it's something that we have to kind of embrace whether we like it or not, and that's the metaverse, and that's NFTs, these non-fungible tokens. Like, what has been your experience with NFTs, May?
Oh my gosh, I just created a new one.
Are you kidding me? So you're now minting and creating NFTs.
Yes, I think that, so it's a very, very interesting thing. I think that the adaptation will take a little while, but I think that basically the NFT model is going to replace, just like I think technology replaced most middlemen, right?
Right.
Like Airbnb replaced a lot of hotel chains, and Uber replaced a lot of taxis. I think that the NFT is actually going to replace the music labels, the major labels, because it connects directly. It connects the content to the consumer directly, and people can actually use it and pay for it. And the artists are getting paid. I don't know if you heard that Nas just sold future royalties on his music, and Kings of Leon, and a lot of major bands and artists are actually creating NFTs, and
it's
they're
incredible.
making money. Yeah, it's amazing. So I just created my new one, and I have a lot of things. I have actually an amazing project happening in that area right now as we speak. And yeah, I think that this is actually the future of music. This is how music is going to be distributed.
So let me get this right. You're going to be, reaching out to us. You're going to be like, hey, guess what, guys? I'm doing a concert in the metaverse. I mean, because May, you're on the cutting edge of where things are going, and I've seen other artists as well, like Calvin Harris. He's got different things on OpenSea. And did you post your NFTs that you created on OpenSea?
Yeah, it's on OpenSea.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I haven't created any NFTs, but I'm a part of some of these communities on Discord, and they're like, "Hey, do the pre-sale. You get in and you can get this in the trading for Solana or Ethereum." And it's interesting to see how they create this urgency, and everybody runs to the door. It's like Black Friday all over again, literally every day when it comes to these NFTs. But it is so interesting. I just spoke about it on the episode with Brandon Shane, and I was using the example of Jake Paul, how he purchased a CryptoPunk for like 170K, and then he was getting offers for like 700K, a week later. It is incredible how much potential these NFTs have right now.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. But like any other thing, it's supply and demand, and
Sure.
it has to be something that it has to be desired, right? There has to be a reason why people would want to buy it from you or look at it as an asset, as an appreciating asset. And so it's a very, very interesting subject. I've been studying it in the last few months. And actually, a very interesting thing, I'm actually working on pilot for a new television series, and the financing of it is in talks right now. Is going to be on the blockchain. And
Wow.
they're going to use, it looks like they're going to use the content also as an NFT. Like there's going to be special content. It's amazing. I mean,
you have blown my mind literally in this interview. I had no idea. Like that is cutting edge. And if I had a hat on, I would take it off and say my hat's off to you, May, because you're doing your thing. Like it's not just, okay, I'm an artist and I'm recording, and you've had success with Human, and you're working with Trey Bruce in Nashville and your Miami Symphonic Orchestra, but you're actually like, okay, where is the future headed to? This is where my focus is.
Yeah. So, it's funny because I'm very excited about this, but this is actually,
you should be.
But this is a need that I have, because I the traditional route with the labels is just not working anymore. Like
You don't need a label anymore, May. I mean, if you're able to create revenue, it's kind of like pre-sales per se, right? You're selling the single before it comes out, and it's available on all platforms, and you're selling the NFT. If you can create that revenue and you don't need the label to assist you with that upfront capital to launch your project, and then you've already got the fan base and they're gravitating to what you're doing, and they're like, yo, this is fire. As everybody says, right? It's fire what you got going on. What is the need for some of these entities? I mean, it's changed drastically in the last, I would say, year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the transition started about 15 years ago, and I think that we're now slowly transitioning into the technological replacement. But I can still say that as far as exposure, they still have more of a machine for that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to capital, right? And when you have the capital, you can pretty much do the same. But they're still required for that matter. But I'm sure that with technology and everything else that's happening right now, there's gonna be another solution to that as well. So
I'm waiting to get the call, and you're gonna be like, hey, guess what? I'm doing my first concert in the metaverse, and it's gonna be crazy. I mean, you don't need to even get on a plane or a bus anymore. Like, you don't need a tour bus. You just put on a headset and you get into a quiet room like you're in now, or like I'm in, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna do this concert, and boom, like the means of creating, you know, and producing has drastically changed. And I think it's more affordable and it's a lot easier for people to really create that quality content.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's amazing. Yeah. Listen, as a solo artist, I can tell you that there is nothing like being on stage and feel the
Right.
energy of the people right there. Um, but but having a virtual concert is amazing too. So I can't. I can't.
Absolutely. I mean, wow. I'm just blown away. Like every time I do an interview, I'm learning new things about people, and it's stuff you can't read about, right? I'm getting the details before it even is released. It's like a great groundbreaking story that you place on TMZ before the public even knows about it. I'm privy enough to hear about it. So wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I'm hustling. I'm
There you
working hard.
go. There you go. I've got to learn how to create my own NFTs. Because
Oh,
I can
easy.
just
I
see
can.
now, I'm seeing people, what's crazy, okay? I don't know if you saw this or not, but, the Oscars and the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing,
I did.
they created, May, an NFT from that and made $44,000 off of that.
What they created an NFT from what? Like they
From the
actually from
actual
that clip?
image of Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith.
Man, it's so
That's
unacceptable.
crazy, isn't it? It's like, you
Yeah.
can make an NFT, like literally you could be drawing a picture and someone could take a photo of you and turn that into a non-fungible token and sell it on the blockchain.
Oh yeah. I
Crazy.
mean, amazing. But
Yes.
but again, it's all about the demand, right? If you
Right,
create a
right.
piece of content that people are interested in, absolutely. But that's where it lies, right? This is where it is, because you have to create an interesting content and something that is very appealing. Yeah, and so there's plenty of tutorials, by the way, on YouTube that
Yeah.
it's very the creating of the NFT is very simple, but what to create is a whole different, is a whole
There
different.
it is. There
Yeah.
it is. And, I think that someone with your potential and talent and the music that you're creating, by being able to capitalize in this blockchain environment, in this metaverse, in this NFT thing, and you're not waiting until it's saturated and the maturity level. If you're looking at a marketing curve, you're like, as a growth curve, right? You're like, I'm going to apply myself now. I'm going to get in. It's like getting in on Google or Amazon before they are or Apple even as they are the entities as they are today. So, I think that's very unique and special. And leading into my next question, May, as an artist, you've got to constantly be creating and evolving. Are you changing your sound, or are we looking at these monumental songs like Human that you just put out with all these various remixes that really make this song so special?
Well, no, actually, I just I wrote with Trey 2 new songs that are very much in the same lane as Human. They're called Rushing the Saints and In the Air. And no, I mean, listen, I honestly believe in the power of a song.
Sure.
A good song is timeless, just like an NFT, right? I honestly believe that I love that, like, visceral, the emotion, and create something that people can relate to. So that will never change. Just if I use technology for anything, is just for distribution and just to bring it to more and more people, and just to be able to access my audience directly. But that will never change. I mean, this is what I'm made of.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What is your advice for those people out there like myself that are clueless and do not know how to create it?
You are not clueless. I disagree with that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But what is your advice out there for people that are seeing these things on the internet, are reading about it in newspapers and magazines, and they're seeing it on the television, and even hearing glimpses of it on the radio, right? What would you say to these people, May? Like, do you wait? to find out, or should you jump on it now before you get left behind?
Absolutely, don't wait. I mean, the early adopters are always the most benefits the most. Um, I listen. My hero is obviously Elon Musk. He'll always tell you that you can educate yourself for free. All you need to have is the desire to be educated. And so absolutely educate yourself as much as you can. It's not that difficult. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube. There's plenty of articles on Google. There's a lot of information out there. And if you want to consume it, it's the easiest thing. You just need to take the time and have the will.
May, I could not say it any better. And thank you for sharing that gem of wisdom.
Of course, my pleasure.
All right. So we know you got a pilot in development, right? You're putting this pilot together. What's next for May? We're expecting new music. Are we going to be seeing you on the stage soon, performing in a city near you? What's next for you?
So I've just recently worked on a new material that I'm super excited about.
Yes.
And I've been working on this series, working with my acting coach. I'm gonna play the protagonist, so it's a little bit of a heavyweight. So I need to master my craft a little bit, and but I've been busy with creating content and educating myself about technology, and I'm a one-man show, so I do everything. I'm the manager, I'm the businessman, I'm the business manager, I'm the artist, I'm all of this. And so, yeah, not too many hours left in the day.
Hey, but you know what, though? And it's funny you say you're a one-man show, because sometimes that is the best position to be in, because it's so difficult. And take it from me, this is personal experience, years and years of personal experience, right? It is so difficult to find like-minded individuals and that are, superstars in their own right, in their own lanes. I mean, it's very, very time consuming. And sometimes it takes years to meet the right individuals that can really take your vision and see where you're desiring to go. Right. And
Yes.
So you're doing the right thing. And I commend you, because I know it's very discouraging. And I'm saying this here on the podcast and on the show, like, it's very discouraging because this industry is all about changing. I mean, every time I turn around, May, and everybody listening, there's always a new platform being developed. You had originally you had MySpace, then MySpace went away, Facebook came into play, but you had to be in college to be a member on Facebook, a user, right? And then you had Twitter, and then Instagram, and then Snapchat, and then Musical.ly, which turned into TikTok, I should say. And now you got Discord. Like, every time you turn around, there's been so many platforms. And I think these things, and LinkedIn, let's not forget LinkedIn for all you professionals out there, because I've met some very, very interesting, talented executives and talent per se, period, on LinkedIn. But every time you turn around, there's a new platform. And I think as a musician, right, and as a producer and as a songwriter, and even a content creator like myself, we constantly have to be evolving as time changes. Because if we don't evolve and we don't transform and adapt to the change, we are going to get left behind.
Oh, yeah.
So that's it. That's all I'm saying. I think I could just drop the mic right here, and I think we've had a great interview. And now, if you did not hear May Kravitz single, Human, I was privy and blessed to play it on the radio in Charlotte. And I was like, May, this is a great song. And I listened to all the remixes, and even the radio version, in my opinion, was my favorite, just because as soon as I hit play, I wanted to listen to it over and over again. So, May, I'm going to play Human here on the podcast.
Ooh, thank you.
Thank you so much for being a special guest today. Congratulations once again. And definitely keep me updated on that new pilot.
Of course. Always. Always.
This has been a special interview with my friend May Kravitz. If you have not seen and heard who she is, make sure you follow her on all social media. May, what's your handle?
May Kravitz Music. That's on my IG. And Spotify, it's May Kravitz Human. And TikTok, it's May Kravitz Yo. And maykravitz.com.
Just Google May Kravitz, everybody.
Yes.
Let's make it easier, right?
Yes.
May, thank you so much. I'm
Thank
Brandon J.
you.
We'll see you next time here on the Brandon J. Show. Goodbye for now. Hi, this is Brandon, and you are tuning in to On Air with Brandon J. right here on iHeartRadio.
Is this the sound of us trampled underfoot? A definitive change. Voices are calling out, brave and afraid about the universe won't stay the same. We're all bound by one nature. Oh, we
If you have not followed me on social media, make sure you follow me on all social media at I am Brandon J. And if we are not connected on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Brandon J. Each episode, we're going to feature brand new content with purpose behind it. News from Hollywood, execs, artists, talent, entertainment news, you name it, all things Hollywood right here on Air with Brandon J.